Hello kids. So in today's class, we are going to learn that how to compare the angles. In the previous exercise, we have learned about the lines and the angles, right? So in today's class, we are going to see that if we have to compare two or more angles, then how we have to do that. Okay, so let's begin. Comparing angles. Look at these animals opening their mouth. Do you see any angles here? If yes, mark the arms and vertex of each one. Some mouths are open wider than others, the more in the turning of the jaws, the larger the angle. Can you arrange the angles in this picture from smallest to largest? Okay, so what we have been asked here to do is that we have different animals here, and the opening of the mouth of every animal is creating one angle. Okay, and what we have to do is we have to mark the vertex and we have to mark the arms of that angle. So let's begin with the first creature, that is snake. For snake, this one is the vertex and these two are the arms, right? Next is the fish. For fish, it is making very small angle. This one is the vertex and these two are the arms of the angle. Now, for this chick, we have these two as the arms and this one is the vertex where these two arms are meeting each other. And the last one we have is a crocodile. So for crocodile, this is one arm, this is the second arm, and this is a vertex. They are meeting at this particular point, these two rays. Okay, so now which angle do you think is the smallest here? When we look at this picture, what we can say is this is the smallest angle. So I am marking this fish as the smallest one. I am marking them in ascending order, that is smaller angle to the bigger angles. So this one is the smallest angle. Then we have a crocodile, right? It is a little bigger than the angle made by the mouth of the fish. And after crocodile, it is the snake, this snake. And the last one is the wide open mouth of the small chicken. Okay, so this is 4. So we have now marked the angles in the ascending order, smaller to bigger. Next is it always easy to compare the angles? Here are some angles. Label each of the angles. How will you compare them? Okay, so now what we are asked here to do is that we are given these angles and we are asked to label them. Label them means we have to label the arms and the vertex. Let's begin with this angle. I am calling this as A, B, C. Okay, where B is the vertex, AB and AC are the arms of this angle. Okay, this is the angle. And I'm also writing the name of this angle here in the figure. This is angle ABC if we reach from here. Okay, you can also call it as angle CBA if you start from here. Okay, but I'm mentioning one only. Next is we can label this as PQR. We can take any alphabets, kids. It's not necessary that we have to use the same alphabets. You can take any alphabets of your choice. Okay, so PQR I am taking here, where Q is the vertex, PQ and PR are the arms, okay, of this angle. And I am writing the name here. This is angle PQR. PQR. We can also call this as angle RQP. Okay. Next I am calling this one as XYZ, where XY and YZ are the arms and Y is the vertex of the angle. Okay. And the angle is X, Y and Z here. Last one is this one. This angle, I am calling this as L, M and N. And here LM and NM, they are the two arms and M is the vertex. Okay, and angle is angle L, M and N. So these are the four angles we have labeled, and how will you compare them? So further in this chapter, we are going to learn that how we have to compare these angles. Okay. Now, the first method which is told here is the comparing the angles with superimposition. Superimposition means when we place one thing over the another. Okay, and by this method we can also compare the angles. So let us understand this how. So kids, we can see in this figure we have two angles. This is angle ABC and this is angle PQR. Now suppose if we have to compare these angles by superimposition, what the first thing which we have to do here is we have to put one angle over the another in such a way that B and Q, they are at the same point. They should coincide with each other. We have to place B and Q on top of each other. So in the third figure, it is very well shown that angle ABC and angle PQR, it has been drawn in the one same figure where B and Q, this B and this Q, they are on the same point. Okay, this. Okay, so now what we have here is angle B and Q, they are at the same point, the vertices are coinciding, and in the same figure we have drawn angle ABC, this one, and angle PQR, such that the lower arm, it is also coinciding, this one, this BC and QR, they are also in the same line, they are also coinciding, they are on one, or they are one on the another in this figure. And now the angles which we have to compare is, I am marking this angle as angle 1, okay, and I am marking this as 2 just for your ease. And if I have to draw the same angle in this picture, so this is angle ABC, this is angle 1, and this one is angle 2, okay. This is angle 1 and this complete is angle 2. So kids, we can very well see in this figure that angle 2 is greater than angle 1, right? Here, angle 2 is greater than angle 1. Or what I can say is angle PQR is greater than angle ABC, because the space between the arms of this angle is more. This rotation would be more for the lower arm to pick the upper arm, right? So that means this angle is more. So this is the first way how we have compared these two angles. Again, I am repeating, what we have done is, when we have to compare the two angles, what we will do is we will superimpose them, means we will place them on top of one over the another, okay, such that their point, the vertex, they should coincide, they should follow the same vertex. Here in B and Q, they are at the same place. Also the lower arm is also coinciding with each other. This BC and QR, they are also in same line. And then we will draw the usual angles given here, and we can easily compare that angle 1 is the smaller angle for this figure and angle 2 is a greater angle here. Okay, so when we are keeping them at the same point, at the same place, we can easily identify which angle is bigger. Now in the second question, as we move further here, we can see the equal angles. So what they have done here is, we have one figure AOB, this is another example, and then the other one is XOY. We have two angles here and we have to compare them, same by the superimposition method. So what we will do, we will place them on one another in such a way that this O of this figure and O of this figure, they should follow in the same line, they should coincide, and that we have done here. This is the figure which we have drawn after the superimposition. Here O of these two is the same point, O drawn here. OB and OY is here. This is OB and this is OY. And OA and OX is also in the same line. So this is example of equal angles where angle AOB is equal to angle XOY. And why they are equal? Because when we have superimposed them, we came to know that both the arms, they are equal for both the angles. See, they are in line with each other. Unlike in the above case. In the above case, the arms were different and the rotation was also different. But here, the arms, they are following the same line. The vertex is same, arms are also following, that means the angle is also same. So, angle AOB is equal to angle XOY here. Okay. And this we have obtained by superimposition. So let us see what is written here. The corner of both the angles match, that is O, and the arms overlap with each other, that we have also seen. OA and OX, they are in same line, they overlap. Similarly, OB and OY, they are in same line, they also overlap. So the reason these angles are considered to be equal in size is because we visualize that each of these angles as being formed out of rotation, we can see that there is equal amount of rotation needed to move OB to OA and OY to OX. So that is same, that they both of these lines, they will have to take the they will take the equal amount of turn to reach the another line. Okay, so that's why these two angles, they are same. Now, from the point of view of superimposition, when two angles are superimposed and the common vertex and the two rays of both the angles lie on top of each other, the size of the angles are equal. So this is what we have just seen, that when these two points, they are on the same line, the vertex, and these two lines, they superimpose, they coincide, then the angle is same. Okay, so that's what we have understood here. So I hope kids, this is clear to you, that how using superimposition we can see which angle is greater and which is not, which is equal. Okay, how we will superimpose these points and then we will see that where are the arms, and then we can easily see which angle is greater. Okay, like we have seen here and in the above example also. Now, next is, where else do we use superimposition to compare? So this is a small exercise which we have been asked to do, kids. Let's do this. I am marking this exercise as exercise 2.3. Okay, now let's begin this. So the first question is, fold a rectangular sheet of paper. This is a rectangular sheet of paper which we have to fold. Then draw a line along the fold created. So this is the fold which has been done and this is the line created after the fold. Now name and compare the angles formed between the fold and the sides of the paper. So we have to name the angles and compare which has been formed between the fold. That is, this is the fold. So angle which is formed between the fold and the sides of the paper. This is the side of the paper and this is the fold. So this is one angle, this is another angle, this is one angle, this is another angle. Okay, so these are the four angles which are formed. I am marking them as angle 1, angle 2, angle 3 and angle 4. Let me use this mark also, angle 1, 2, 3 and 4. And also I am marking this rectangle as ABCD and these two, the folded line is XY. Okay, so now we have name of every corner, the rectangle and the lines, and also we have named these angles. Okay, now name and compare the angles formed between the fold and the sides of the paper. Make different angle by folding a rectangular sheet of paper and compare the angle which is the largest and the smallest angle you made. So kids, we have these four angles, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, and we can very well see here that this angle, if you see angle 2, this is something like, okay, wait. So I am marking a line here. Consider this is D, this is C, and this is the line X and Y. So here we can see this angle is greater than this angle. Okay. So this is what I have represented here. This is angle 1 This is angle 2. We can very well see that angle 2 is greater than angle 1. Okay. And if I want to name this, what is angle 2? The name of angle 2 is DYX. DYX is greater than angle 1. Sorry. Angle 2 is this one, kids. So this is angle CYX. Angle CYX, it is greater than angle 1. That is angle DYX. Okay. This angle is greater than this angle. So this is the largest angle. And similarly here, angle 3 is greater than angle 4. Okay. Angle 3 is greater than angle 4. That means angle AXY is greater than angle BXY. Okay, over here. So this is one thing we have done. So in this figure, we can see, so what is the output? What is the answer? Answer is that angle 2 and angle 3 are biggest. This we can very well see, and angle 1 and angle 4 are smallest. Okay, so kids, you understand, no, that why they are biggest and smallest? They are biggest and smallest because we can easily see when we draw it that this angle is greater. And similarly, if we will see this angle from this side, we'll rotate this rectangle and we will see it will form the similar figure for this side as well. And again, this angle would be greater than, and this is smaller. Okay, now coming to the second question. Second question is, in each case, for this given figure, in each case determine which angle is greater in y. So we have to compare the angles. For the first part, angle AOB and angle XOY. So kids, angle AOB is this angle and angle XOY is this angle. So we can very well see a marking in red. Angle AOB is this bigger angle. Okay. And angle XOY I am marking in blue is the smaller angle. So that means that this particular arm will have to take more rotation to move to OA when compared to this. The space between these two lines is greater than the space between these two lines. Okay. So that means angle AOB is greater than angle XOY. Angle AOB is greater than angle XOY. We can very well see, and also it will take more rotation to move to the other arm. Next is question number B. Angle AOB, again the red one, and angle XOB. XOB is this one. So let me erase this. And for the second case, angle XOB is XOB, this angle. Okay. So kids, again here, XOB is smaller than AOB because this will take this arm OC. It will take less rotation to move to OX than to OA, because if you have to overlap OC to OA, it will have to move more when compared to XOB. The space between these two arms, angle AOB, is greater than the space between XOB. Okay, so what we can write here is, again, angle AOB is greater. And also kids, angle AOB is a right angle. It's 90 degree. We have done it in grade 5. Is greater than angle XOB. Now the C part. C part is XOB, this blue one, or XOC. Okay. So I'm erasing this red. I'm using blue. XOB is this, and XOC, it is also the same because OB and OC, they are in the same ray. So we are talking about the same angle, XOB and XOC. These two only. These two are same because the vertex is same and the arms are also on the same lines. Okay, OB and OC, they coincide. OX is same, O is the vertex. So angles are also same. We just read this. If the vertex is same and the arms are also coinciding, overlap with each other, means the angles are equal. So angle XOB is equal to angle XOC. Why? Because vertex is same. What is vertex? O, and arms are coinciding, overlapping, or you can say they are overlapping. Sorry. They are overlapping. Next question. Okay. Which angle is greater? For this, answer number 3, we will write here. Answer number 3. Which angle is greater? For this given figure, we have to see which angle is greater. XOY. XOY is XOY. So this angle, or AOB. AOB. This angle. Wait, I'm marking it in blue. Okay, so we have to compare this red angle XOY and AOB. So kids, just understand it this way. If you see this figure, okay, let me break this angle XOY into two parts. Okay, how? Let us see. Angle XOY, this angle, it is sum of two angles, XOA, this thing, and AOY. Okay, I'm writing here angle XOA plus angle AOY. Kids, by this time you should be able to distinguish easily in the angles. The name I'm saying that what is XOA, I'm talking about what is AOY, because we have done this many times now in this chapter. Okay, again I'm telling you, what I'm doing is I'm breaking this angle, the red one, into two parts. And what are those two parts? Those two parts is this plus this. Angle XOA written here and angle AOY written here. I can write this angle as sum of these two angles because this is this plus this, right? Now, similarly, when I move to another angle AOB, I can again break it into two parts. This AOB. Now, let me erase this. Let me erase this whole. It will help you to understand better. Angle AOB. I was talking about this angle AOB. So now what I am doing is I am breaking it into two parts. How? AOY, this thing, angle AOY plus angle YOB. This whole is sum of this plus this. So angle AOY plus angle YOB. What I have done is I have divided this whole angle into two parts. This plus this. AOY plus YOB. Okay, so if I see this one and this one, these two angles, we have AOY here also, AOY here also. That means AOY is same in these two angles which we are comparing. Okay, and now we are left with XOA and YOB. So that means whosoever is more, that corresponding angle will be more because the other angle is same anyways. So let us say see what is XOA. XOA is this angle and YOB is this angle. So kids, it is very easily we can see that XOA is a greater angle and YOB is a smaller angle, this angle. Okay, so that means here angle XOA, this angle is greater than angle YOB, this small angle. Okay, so if this angle XOA is greater, it belongs to XOY. So what we can write is angle XOA is greater than XOB and angle AOY is same for both these two angles. I'm naming them XOY and AOB. So that means what? That means, so angle XOY is greater than angle AOB. Okay, I hope you understood this. See kids, what we have done is, I'm erasing everything, I'm explaining again. Now from here, all right. So what we have done is, we have to compare XOY, this bigger angle, and angle AOB and this angle. So what we have done is, for XOY, what I have done is, I have divided it into two parts, this plus this, which I have written here, angle XOA plus angle AOY. Okay, and similarly the other angle is AOB, which we have to compare. I have again broken it into two parts, angle AOY and angle YOB. So AOY and YOB, these two. Now in both the angles which I have to compare, I can very well see that AOY is same in this and in this. AOY is same. Okay, so that means if this is same, we just have to compare this angle with this angle, and we can very easily see angle XOA is greater than YOB. So I have written same here, angle XOA is greater than YOB and AOY is same in both the angles. So that means that our angle XOY is greater than AOB. That means this whole is greater because it was sum of these two. One is same, other one is greater. So that means angle XOY is greater than angle AOB. Okay, so this is the answer of this question. Now I think we can cover, this is a small thing only, we can cover this in the same class. This is the kids another method, that if we have to compare the angles without superimposition, that if we don't want to put one figure above the another, one vertex above the another to see which angle is greater. So here what we can do is that we are taking a piece of transparent paper. So what they have done, they have taken a paper first, they have taken a sheet and they have drawn the angle which they want to compare, angle AOB. Okay, I'm writing here. What they have done is, this is AOB, that is on the sheet of paper. Now what they have done is, they have taken a transparent circle and they have put it over this angle in such a way that the center of the circle, the center of the circular paper, it coincides with the vertex of the angle. Okay, so what they have done is, listen again, they have taken a paper and they have made the angle AOB. They have to compare this angle with some other angle which we will see, and to compare it, what they have done, they have taken one transparent circular paper and they have placed the center of the paper with the vertex of this angle. Okay, and now they are marking the ends, the arms of this angle on the circular sheet like this. They have marked the center and they have marked these angles. Now what they will do is, they will take this paper and circular paper and they will keep it on the another sheet which contains the another angle XOY. Okay, and now what they are doing is, again at the center of the another angle they are keeping it and they will mark the points, the arms of the another angle also. So for the first angle AOB, they marked the center as O, A and B as the points, the arms. Okay, and for the another, they on the top of this, they are marking the arms of the second, but then again the vertex should again coincide with the center. And now We have 4 points, the first 2 points of the first angle, the second 2 points of the second angle, and we can very well see by looking at this that which arm is bigger. Okay, which arm is bigger. So this is something, this is a kind of activity which can be done in the school, in class, to understand this. Okay, so today we have learned two methods to compare the angles. The first is the superimposition, where we keep the one angle, where we keep one angle over the another in such a way that their vertices coincides. Okay, and then we see that if the vertices are coinciding, then how much turn one arm will have to take to move to the another, or what is the space between them. So this is the first example we did, where we find out that this angle, angle 2 is greater than angle 1. Okay. And in the second, we saw that the angles were equal because their vortex was coinciding. Their both the arms were also coinciding. They were overlapping with each other. So since everything was overlapping, the angle was equal. Okay. And then we did this exercise. We have done these questions, and we have learned the another method of comparing the angles without superimposition using the transparent circle. Okay. So kids, this brings us to the end of this class, and I really want you to go through it. Just understand that how we write the angles, how we have done this. We have divided the bigger angles into smaller, and then we have compared them. Okay, so if you have any queries, just email me. And the next part of this chapter, that is making rotating arm, this is just another activity which can be done in class. We will just go through it and we'll see. Okay, so I will see you all in the next class now.